What's up, people? This your boy Glass Get With Sports. Just finishing recording episode 62 of our 2 Cent Deposit on Sports. Me and my partner in crime, Brandon. Check that out when I finish editing it. But I figure since it's rendering now, I'll go ahead and give you my quick thoughts of Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals between the Houston Rockets and the Golden State Warriors. Pretty good game. It was exciting all the way to the end. It was close. Rockets won the game 98-94. Houston leads the series 3-2. But it's going to be interesting for the next two games, or one or two games. It was evenly matched all the way to the end. Houston had more offensive rebounds, 8-2, steals, 10-7, and blocks, 3-1. And the Warriors had more turnovers, 16-10. With those numbers, you can't win if you're the Golden State Warriors. Top performer, Chris Paul had 20 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, and 3 steals. He had a good game. Steph Curry, 22 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals. Almost identical stats from Game 5. It was a sloppy game. First quarter, Houston missed open shots. Instead of having the lead, it should have been a double-digit lead by halftime, but instead it was tied up. Missed some opportunities. So did the Golden State Warriors. It was a sloppy game. It was a good game, but it was a sloppy game. It could have been better. Golden State, Durant had 29 points, 4 rebounds, no assists. Too much isolation. It was too much dribbling. I think that's the only thing I had a problem with that game. Too much isolation, where a person is dribbling the ball damn near 20 seconds before he passes or before he shoots or make a move toward the basket. That has to change for both teams. Thompson had 23 points, 4 rebounds. Draymond Green had 12 points, 15 rebounds, but also had 6 turnovers. That hurt Warriors. On the Rockets side, Eric Gordon had a great game, 24 points, 4 rebounds. James Harden had 19 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, but he also had 6 turnovers. Clint Capella, 12 points, 14 rebounds. He had a great game. Houston is up 3-2, but the key player or the key situation that's going to affect the rest of the next two games, one or two games, is the injury to Chris Paul, the point guard of the Houston Rockets. He came up lame last night with a right hamstring injury. They say it's strained, and they already announced that he will be missing Game 6. I know Andre Iguodala was a main player for the Golden State Warriors last two games. He's the glue of that team. Great defensive, great two-way player. And the Golden State Warriors miss him in the last two games. But that's not even in comparison to what's going on now with the Chris Paul injury to the Houston Rockets. Chris Paul is the floor general to the team. He takes on all the burden away from, well, most of the burden away from James Harden. Now that he's out, they said they was going to move Eric Gordon to the number 1 spot to keep James Harden at the number 2 spot. Eric Gordon is a good player, but he's not a Chris Paul. You know, they're going to miss Chris Paul in Game 6. I don't think they have enough to win, Houston to win at the Oracle Arena in Game 6 without Chris Paul. So I believe it's going to move back to Golden State Warriors going to win Game 6. It's going to go to a Game 7 in Houston. It's going to be a great game. Chris Paul, I agree with them resting Chris Paul now, because you don't want to injure or have the hamstring torn in Game 6, and he won't be available in Game 7. You go ahead, count your losses in Game 6, and be ready for Game 7. You play better at home. It's going to be a great game, so I can't wait to see it. I'm going to watch Game 6 Saturday night, but I think it's going to fall down to a Game 7 in Toyota Center in Houston. It's going to be a great game. So that's my thoughts on the Western Conference Finals. Tonight, Friday night, we'll have the Cleveland Cavaliers trying to prolong this series by another game. Boston up 3-2. They're playing in Cleveland. Should be a good game. We'll see if LeBron got enough in his tank to put the team on the shoulder to get a win out this day. If they don't win, Boston Celtics move on to the NBA Finals. We'll see. So this your boy Glass. Quick thoughts. Like, comment, subscribe, and check out next time. As always, be good, be safe, get with it. Peace.